Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, I'm going to be doing some rust repair on my truck. Now, I've been lucky enough to have lived in Hawaii, Virginia, and California with this truck, so no rust belt states, so I don't have a lot of buildup on rust. But every now and again, I like to get underneath my truck and just apply, a little bit of flat black paint to keep the rust at bay, an ounce of prevention type thing. So the tools that you're going to need, obviously some steel toothbrushes to try to get at the rust. I got this little sanding pad. You can also use a rotating thing for drill bit, like a steel toothbrush, rotating steel toothbrush. It works really well. And then I got some brake clean. I don't normally use this, but I wanted to try it out, see how it would work on the frame for cleaning stuff off. And then some just flat back paint, and then my favorite, fluid film. If you watch any of my other videos, you know fluid film is one of my favorite things. I actually picked it up a few years back at my job. I worked on helicopters. We applied this crap everywhere. We probably went through a can a day, easy. So it quickly became some of my favorite stuff, and I preach the gospel of fluid film, if you will. So anyways, let's get underneath the truck and get started. So I'm underneath the truck now, and yes, there is a concert going on. I didn't notice it until I started filming, but you can see, a little bit of surface rust on the axle on both sides. Definitely want to take care of that. There's a little bit of body rust up there, not too much. I'm mostly worried about the frames you see on the leaf springs. Not too worried about that. I have something in store for that very, very soon. So, like I said, I don't really live in a rust belt area. However, I do go to Fiesta Island. Let me turn this around. I do go to Fiesta Island, which, it's a saltwater beach, and I drive right up on it. So I am concerned that, hey, with that, I might spray some salt water up here, and I don't want it sitting. So I do wash it pretty regularly, at least once a month. But the main area that I would be worried about that salt spray is back here. But let's move up underneath and see what we're looking at as far as the frame a little bit further up. So, all right, so you can see I'm up here near the middle section of the truck. Definitely the exhaust is looking a little bit rough. I might replace that soon too. You can see the frame on both sides seems pretty good. Let me roll over this way. I would definitely recommend a creeper if you have one. You can see I have the RCI skid plate for the fuel tank. I also have the reinforced RCI skid plate for the transfer case and transmission. Definitely not a required thing, but if you bash a little bit harder, I would say so. It's worth it. But look at, like you can see here, sorry, a little bit of rust, right there. So let's go grab the tools and start prepping and clean this crap off. So here's another thing to look out, guys. Underneath the steps, pretty obvious signs of corrosion. So we're gonna try knocking that out, getting that treated too. my Macho Man Randy Savage sticker is hanging on for dear life, just like Hulk Hogan will be after I'm done with him this Sunday at WrestleMania. Yeah! So this is the infamous bolt that Ford decided to put where the it's in this way, so you either have to drop the tank or you have to cut it off. So don't want to give too much away, but I'm gonna have to deal with that in a few months. So yeah, looking forward to that. So this is why I think that the truck should come with a transmission skid plate, because you see I bashed it on something here, I just started treating it, and the line goes all the way down. See, there's another little secondary mark. Also, maybe this is just me being extra, but I always mark these after I paint them, or paint them. My mind's all over the place. I always use the paint marker after I torque them, just so that if they start wiggling their way loose, I notice. But look, you can see some more damage right here, and little things like that. That's what we're trying to prevent. Isn't that right, Macho Man? Alright guys, so I'm pretty much done. Killed off a whole can of spray paint. Didn't use nearly as much of the brake clean as I thought. It was pretty clean under there. The most troubling spots that I actually found while cleaning was actually right here, and it's hard to see because I treated it all with black paint. You can see there's still a little bit more corrosion, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find a more matching red, not ratching med, paint, and try to treat this area a little bit, and then maybe some fenders in there. Same thing on the other side. By the way, this is a Ferrari golf cart. I just want you guys to know that. Same thing, not nearly as bad. Didn't have to treat underneath it. There's a little bit of rust that was on the frame rails. I did go underneath and treat some of that. There's a little bit of rust. I'm gonna go back again and properly do the rear axle at some point in the near future. But I have a lot of plans in the back end for this truck, suspension wise, so maybe when those are all pulled, we'll get that again. Going up for the rails, there's a lot of corrosion that was on the underside of this that you saw in the video, and I treated most everything of that. Let's see. Oh, and the sticker fell off. I got to replace my Macho Man sticker, but you can see pretty clean under here. Most of the skid plates I had to put a little bit of paint on. There's the scratch that I pointed out. There's also a few little dents and dings. The RCI gas tank skid plate is holding up pretty well. Going around to the front, didn't really have to do much in here. There's a few little things in here. The cam adjusters, those are getting pretty eaten up, but they're replaceable next time. Next time I do an alignment, before I do an alignment, I'll swap those out. The tie rods are pretty rusted, but I didn't put any paint on that. Same with the RCs, and I don't think I'm too worried about those right now. You know, a little bit surface rust is the protective layer, I guess. Same story over here on the passenger side. Not really too much going on. I did, getting underneath the car, there's a lot of little surface rust on here, so I pretty much applied all the way down the side. There are a few little runs, but I'm not too worried about it. It's underneath the car, but like here you can see what I was talking about. It's not perfect, so more than likely in the coming months I'm going to pull this off and maybe properly rhino line it or replace it with something a bit stronger. Who knows? But yeah, let me get up. Ugh. So yeah, my hands are a little bit dirtier. I went through a can of paint, but for just spending an afternoon, a couple hours cleaning up your truck and getting that little bit of peace of mind that you're abating the rust. I didn't put on fluid film. I will put on fluid film in a future date. Just put it on. It's really good rust protection, especially if you live in a rust belt state. But that's pretty much it. If you have any questions or you know, any tips, leave them down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really helps me. Yeah, that's it. Have a great day. Hey guys, I hope you're doing all well. Shit.